Here we go. And I think oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. Do your thing. All right, there we go. That's what I needed. I just needed to make sure that nothing else happened. Okay, welcome. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate you. Welcome to the show, okay? Welcome to the ZolYin Live, where we talk about books. What do we talk about? I don't know what we talk about. No, we talk about books, brains, and blockchains, okay? Where, today we're going to specifically focus on something that could happen to the blockchain in the future. A little deadly premonition. But really, it's about brains, okay? I want to give you guys a little history lesson, okay? Secret history, shadowy history, okay? Nobody else out here be telling you this stuff. Look, even YouTube ain't got it, okay? YouTube was brand new, okay? When this stuff I'm about to tell you happened, okay? It's a little wonky. It was 2006, 7, okay? It's like late 6, early 7, okay? We're talking about back when YouTube was all about piracy. I mean, not piracy. Sorry, YouTube. I meant, you know what I'm talking about. Watching things. Anything. You can watch anything. Okay. Okay. So let me just tell you something. I'm not a historian. Okay. Full disclosure. I'm not a historian. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a tech guru or any of that stuff, okay? I'm just a guy in front of some comic books, okay? So just buyer beware, okay? I'm telling you things that I experienced. This is from my perspective, okay? Also, allegedly, okay? Don't sue me, okay? Don't sue me, Jack. Don't sue me, Twitter, okay? Allegedly, even though it's the truth, it's allegedly, okay? Just to want to put that out there. All right, so a little history lesson. All right, Mr. Jack Dorsey is leaving. He left Twitter, okay? He left Twitter. He was the CEO for a very long time. Now, he endured one coup, okay? And the coup was it's long and drawn out. He basically got stabbed in the back, and he left on his accord, much like Steve Rogers, Jesus Christ. Steve Rogers. I'm definitely tired, y'all. I'm definitely tired. I was trying to say Steve Jobs, okay? Much like Steve Jobs. How do you mix those two up? Jesus Christ. That's a legendary moment. Look, the man, he just like Steve Jobs, he kind of spearheaded the company. He got it off on he got it up to where it is today with a lot of help. But he got it up there to where it is today. The best that it is. It's like the opposite of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs made Apple into this amazing company, right? And Jack debatably, made a company that was influential in a bad way, in my opinion. But that's not that's neither here nor there. That's a flavor. That's my take. I'll take that. Okay, I'm very biased. You'll find out that I'm very biased. By the way, again, I just want to say that everything. I think the statute of limitations is up on this, right? I'm pretty sure. Look. Everything I'm about to tell you is completely fabricated, okay? It's fiction, Minecraft, okay? Allegedly. I just want to make sure that it's well known that I'm not, Anywho, a lot of things happen in this history, okay? I might, I'm not trying to say, how do I put this in a nice way without getting in trouble? I was a different person back then, okay? I just want to preface this, okay? This is a long time coming, all right? So, Jack Dorsey was a CEO of a company that was an experiment, okay? Twitter was an experiment. I don't care what anyone tells you. It was an experiment. Nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew, okay? It was just, let's try it. SMS texting to the masses. It's like everybody's text messaging each other, but it's public, okay? Just imagine it's on the bathroom walls and everybody can see it. That's Twitter, okay? So, let's get to it. All right, so it all started with this, okay? When I saw that on Twitter, I said, so he is leaving for good. He had a little letter and everything. So, last time he left, it was kind of like, he didn't want to leave, but he left for a lot of reasons. But mostly it was a coup. But that's neither here nor there. That happened on his own. What I'm about to tell you, a lot of people were involved with what his history was, okay? He He went through some stages. Everybody went through some stages, okay? And you're about to find out something about me that, you'll see. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why Twitter is a very dangerous place. It's not dangerous because you can get in trouble with people and all that stuff. It's not dangerous because of cancel culture and all that stuff. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about addiction, okay? Twitter is an addictive place, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because, people use it for looking at alpha, trying to find alpha for their shadow dollars, right? You're trying to find new projects, right? You're trying to find, trying to connect with the devs and the communities and stuff. As you are doing that, be mindful, right? Be mindful. It's just like buying something at a store. You go to the store and you think to yourself, I need to just get milk, okay? You're going to the store for milk. But you see something on the side that you remember, oh, I also need some eggs. Oh, I also need some soap. Oh, I could use this. I could use that. I could use this. And before you know it, you're walking out the store with $100 worth of stuff. Now, that's probably not you. You probably have more self-control than that. But Twitter, your it's not money. That's the thing you have to worry about. It's your time. It's your attention. It's your energy. Okay? Those three things will dictate how you use Twitter, right? Your ability, of course, your discipline. Your discipline is the core. It's the center. Okay? I don't have a chart. I should have probably made a chart for this, but you have your attention here, right? Your focus, your energy, and your time. And that's the trifecta. That's the triangle, the holy triangle. And in the center is going to be your discipline. And your discipline will dictate how... It looks really bad when I do this on the screen. Your discipline will dictate how well you use it as a tool. Or if it uses you. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Twitter has a feature. It is a feature. It's not a bug. It's called infinite scrolling, where you see everything that anyone's ever posted on your feed, right? It's when you follow people, it's like several algorithms, not just one, it's several. When you use it, you have a situation where if you're following somebody, you're going to get all their stuff and all their retweets unless you edit some things, right? And even then, you still get it because the algorithm is trying to get you to stay on the platform as much as possible. It's a battle for your attention and time. You have to remember that. Keep that in mind. It is valuable. People spend it willy-nilly. I learned this the hard way, okay? I've been on Twitter a very long time. You're about to find out how long. Okay? I don't put it this way. I don't post that often anymore. I barely go on the platform. There's a reason for that, okay? I understand it on an innate level. I don't talk about that because it's not something I'm proud of. It's something that actually I'm kind of ashamed of. So here we go. Okay. It uses infinite scrolling to create what I call the death scroll. The death scroll is you have spent an unknown amount of time on the platform. You don't know how long you've been on. You kind of know, but not really. Like maybe it's been an hour. Maybe it's been 2 hours. You don't know really. It could have been 15 minutes. Maybe. But it was 15 minutes more than you needed to be on there. It's a place that is intended for you, right? It's sold to you as a place you could use for resources, but it's intended to make you addicted. And you become you become a person who is dependent on the product. And by becoming dependent on the product, you become the product. Remember, if it is free, if the platform is free, if the product is free, you're the product, okay? You're the product. Remember that, okay? Keep that in mind. All right, so how do I know how this addiction works, okay? This cycle, it functions like this. It makes you want to have a fight with somebody based on lots of things. One of the things is people say things at the most extreme level, nothing in between for the most part, right? Because of the amount of space you have. They increased the amount of space. It used to be 140. They increased it to 280 because people were having so many fights because you couldn't communicate nuance to the point where people were like, yo, we need to actually have more space so we can actually not have this fight, right? And explain ourselves. So that's when they increased the two. People complained enough to Jack and the team and Twitter. Finally, they were like, all right, we're just going to increase it. Now, I'm going to explain to you. I know how this works because I was on Twitter for a very long time. 2007 was my first account. Early 2007. Okay, I was early, bro, and I'm not proud of it. Okay, I have several accounts. Most of them, like I would say 90% of them, not a lot, handful of them. Most of them banned. Okay, deleted. Right? Either what I think 2 of them I deleted because I think I was shadow banned. I said I'm deleting them, and then the rest of them, the first 2, I think, the original and then the second account I had were banned. Okay, so full disclosure, that happened. Now you'll find out why that happened. Okay, I'm gonna get into that, and it's juicy. It is juicy. I'm not proud of it. Again, I just wanted to establish that. Now it's time to confess. Okay, there was a lot of us. Twitter appealed to college students at the time. They pulled the Facebook. Okay. Actually, I think they pulled the Facebook before Facebook. I'm not even sure. When did Facebook come out? 2005? So maybe they did it after Facebook. I don't remember. But they basically pulled the Facebook where they appealed. It was an appeal to college students. At the time, you only could get in with invite codes. Now, a lot of people don't know that, but that's how you used to be able to get in. Now, you may think to yourself, how is this important? I'm telling you this history because you need to understand the history of how this platform kind of came about and the culture that was there so that you understand where it's going, okay? This is the end of an era. You have to remember that. This guy is going. It's going to be, I'm going to do a video actually on the new guy. And you'll see where I'm going with this. This is the end of an era of charade. It's a phantom war, if you will, okay? Some of you know what I'm talking about. It could be a shadow war, whatever you want to call it. Ghost war, whatever you want to call it. Because you didn't really know. It's just like YouTube. You didn't really know what the rules were. Like, the rules were the rules, but not really. The rules weren't the rules, okay? They changed TOS so often that it was on purpose. Like, they were like, you can't ban me. You have to unban me because people would be reading the TOS and actually understand the TOS and be like, look, you can't ban me because blah, 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 blah. So reinstate my account and da, da, da. So they would update the TOS. They would let you back in, update the TOS, and then when you did it again, they ban you. Okay, that's how they worked. Now, a lot of dirty things happened at the time. Okay, and by dirty, I don't mean like that kind of dirty. I mean like backstabby things. We're talking about people who join the moderator team to get people up off the platform. It's political. It's Game of Thrones. Okay, it's that bad. Now, Twitter started very small. It was pretty small. I would say like 100,000, 150,000 soft users, and then there was hard users. Hard users were people who were like either in places of power, or they were VIPs, or somebody who they were like an investor, somebody who was not going to get banned. They weren't going to get banned. A soft user, anything can happen to them, right? They got an invite code, they got on the platform, and as long as they behave, they'd be okay. So, when I was in college, okay, it was a time I was going through it was a busy time, and I was very well behaved in high school, okay, especially in classes is what I mean. I was very, as far as like authority or whatever, I just was like, I just do the class, do the job, whatever, get in, get out, right? Now, I did get into fights. That's not to say I didn't get into fights. I did get into fights, but that has nothing to do with that. That was more like my interactions. That's just me being a guy. That was just me being a guy, to be honest with you. But when it came to class, I took a very serious job, very, very seriously. Make sure I get good grades and all that. You can't go home I came from a home you cannot get no good bad grades. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But point of this story is the time to decompress was Twitter. Okay, you let go of everything. I mean, you are just as based as you can get, okay? And you are just as based as the rules will allow, basically, okay? And and there was a lot of us, guys. There was a lot. Like, we're talking about tens of thousands of people. And we used to joke around, have a good time, okay? And for Jack was a number one target. I'm gonna say it again. Jack was a number one target. There was some moderators out there, but man, we absolutely positively. We terrorized that man. I'm not proud. I'm not proud. Now, so I'm gonna just say that every ban that happened, that was like, okay, this is what we did to him. This is what he looked like before. All right, this is what happened. This is what we did before. We clowning him. I'm not talking about like, harassing him, death threats and stuff. That's not what we did. We roasted him. We cooked him. I was like, he would make a post like, hey, I'm making souffle, and people would be like, yo, you cooking souffle, huh? You add spice in there? Because I don't think you adding spices. And people would just get at him just again and again. And it would be funny. It would be so funny, guys. I swear to God, I'd be dying sometimes. You understand the addiction? Do you see the problem here? So, the next thing that happened to him was this. This is after years and years and years of cooking the man, right? He would turn into this guy. He had to like go zen. He had to become zen because he was just we rattled him, you know what I mean? The stress between the CEOs, the Wall Street investors, the public, the people who were like complaining all the time, and then we were cooking them. It was just like too much. It was too much. A man can only take so much, and I feel bad. I feel very guilty about it. All right, I'm not even gonna front. All right. This was him in the middle. This is a tipping point. You can see the dead look in his eyes. Man, we cooked him so bad, y'all. You don't understand. I mean, the amount of times he got cooked, bro, it was just... And he read that stuff because back then there was a little, whatchamacallit. It would give you an engagement, like a little signal, like a little... I don't even remember what it was called. But, Twitter was different back then. It was all squares and stuff. If you think about it now, the design is a lot better compared to back then, but like anything was better back then than back then. But it did give you that engagement. Now you can't tell if someone's seen it. I think that was on purpose. I like that though, when someone could tell. I'm like, oh yeah, he saw that. Good. All right, I'm gonna keep moving. All right, so the amount of times we cooked him was so insane. It was so much, right? That sometimes you had to sit there and just think, man, this guy's about to lose it. Like, you about to lose it. And you had to refrain. You have to think about it. You're young. You don't care. You're just kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Solipsistic. You're solipsistic. You're like, whatever. He can take it, right? You're a grown man. You can do it. But in reality, you really can't, because you're talking about tens and thousands of people every minute of the day, just like like just cooking you or having information that's important. You don't know, like it's a roulette. So I looking back now, definitely would never be that way. Definitely not. Even though I'm laughing, it's actually not funny. I would not do it the same way today, but like thinking about the culture that existed back then, just kind of going over a 10-year, maybe a 12-year view. Was it 12 years? How long has it been now? It's 21, so almost 15 years. We're about to come up on 15 years. That's crazy. So, but yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? Like it's one of those things where you just kind of have to look at it from like an adult view, right? You look at it from an adult view and you say to yourself, would you repeat that? And I'm just like, nah, not really. No, not at all. But it was definitely an experience that was different. So again, the culture in the past will tell you kind of where it's going. This guy was about transparency. He kind of said he was about transparency, but really it was in the back end. There was stuff going on that you weren't aware of, right? It was a lot of, a lot of shrouding, a lot of mystery behind how things were working. So your tweets would disappear. People wouldn't be able to see your tweets. Wouldn't be able to see your account. Your followers would change. Like you wouldn't even know. Like sometimes you go to your account, it was just gone. So you had to kind of like roll with the punches. And that's just, again, that, and then, like I said, you don't know even if you were, sometimes they'll delete the wrong person. So you have to kind of think to yourself, even if you were behaved or whatever, you could have been the guy who they lost, who just got SOL, just sorry out of luck, right? So it got so bad, right? I remember he made a tweet saying, I need to make I can't find that tweet, by the way. Of course he deleted it. But I vividly remember he made a tweet. He said, it's times, these are the rough times. How did it go? He said, it takes a lot for one person to constantly get constantly get heckled. And I remember the heckling was the part that got me. I was like, yeah, that's us. And he's like, to get heckled and also, trolled, because that was a big thing back then. And then he said in this quote, this word I remember specifically, he said, "You guys think you're pwning me, but all you're making me do is take a long look at my own life's decisions. I think I'm gonna take a break." So we made him go to India, bro. He went to India, bro. He went to India. The man lost it. I'm telling you. He took a break. He took all his leave he had at the time. He had accrued, I don't remember how many months he had of leave, but he had a lot of leave. That man packed up everything and just went to India for God knows how long. He's like, oh, it's for business. It wasn't for business. You don't abruptly pack your things up after that tweet and go on a trip. You don't do that. That's not business. That's you saying, yo, I need a break. I can't do this anymore. Or I'm about to quit. So I feel like that was part of one of the reasons why he did get that coup, because they said he was unstable. I vividly remember that. See, again, like I said, I do feel some guilt about a lot of the things that happened because, again, in the back end, there were forums we were on. I remember I was specifically on a forum. I forgot what it was called now, but it was a forum where you basically people would post his link to his tweet, and that's when you knew, if you put a notification on your on your account on that forum, your phone would buzz. It would be an email. It would be an email. It would be through an SMS, but it would be an email. You click on that, it leads you straight to the the Twitter page or the Twitter website. It was a desktop form on your phone. You click on that, and then you would see it, and you can for 25 cents you could troll him from anywhere. Remember, Wi-Fi wasn't strong yet. It wasn't quite where it was yet. I think I was at McDonald's or something. I was like, oh, he's tweeting, he's having a meltdown. It's time to go. It's time to go. So again, I'm not saying I'm proud. It was very bad. Wouldn't do it again, but it was a time in my life where it was a decompress. Again, I feel bad. I do feel bad, but I'm just trying to give you a history lesson, because we're going somewhere else. It's going to be the complete opposite of where this was. So this is extremes. We're going from this extreme of like almost lawlessness. It was almost like Wild West almost, to like where we are right now, which is kind of a panopticon. You can look that up. A panopticon, almost a dystopia. Kind of an oppressive, website, right? You can't, certain words you can't say, certain things you can't do. Certain people are above other people based on status. It's one of those things now. If you look at it, you're like, is it really worth, getting on there and just having a conversation or talking to people who really don't matter in the end? Like, because if you notice, certain people, you can kind of tell based on the longer you're on that kind of forum, you can kind of tell who's worth being, who's somebody, who's not somebody, right? It is what it is. I'm not trying to say everybody is a nobody there, but I'm just saying certain people, you just kind of say, all right, changing their mind, what does that do? So, anyways, he went to India to go find Gandhi or something. And when he was there, he went and met some activists, and he had a little oopsie, okay? He got a little oopsie where he did a little thing with the sign there. You can look it up yourself, but he basically somebody tweeted a photograph of him hanging out with them, holding a smashed up Brahminica patriarchy, which is the Untouchables. It's one of the highest, I think it's the highest caste. It must be the highest caste. I think so. So it's like the highest case, and this is the kind of an activist, anti-high caste post, basically. So that kind of backfired on him. And the Indians did not like that. They did not like that at all. So he got in trouble while he was on vacation. So on top of that, getting in trouble again. You see, this stacks up. You see where I'm going with this. So the main topic here. Jack and the employers who are like him are a portal. Now, you may ask yourself, what does this have to do with the history? Okay, the history of this website and the history of him working on this app and this company and this platform is a means to an end, right? It's kind of a power thing. It's kind of a, like, this is a business, but it's also influence. You're influencing people. You're influencing the world. You're influencing people, how they think, new minds, young people, right? Him as a portal, what I'm trying to say is he's a portal for problems. He himself, the way he looks at the world and the way he views and leads his community is one of those places where he's part of his own problem. He's like an instrument of his own demise. You'll see where I'm going with this with another person who owns a big company. He kind of has a view of things that kind of hurt him, that kind of build up more problems, as opposed to like being a leader and hiring people based on their ability to do the job. He creates he creates unnecessary issues and drama by having the wrong priorities. Okay, the priorities he has is I want to leave that there. I'm gonna leave that there for you. Okay, the elephant room. By the way, there's a real photo I was trying to find, and I could not find it. Just completely erased from the internet. Remember, a lot of these platforms, they kind of go toe to toe, hand in hand. If there's something that's out there that's incriminating for them, it might go away. I tried to find this one photo. It was a good one too, but you'll see later. We'll talk about that in a minute. Before I do that, I want to look at the chat real quick. Let's look at the chat. Let's have a quick check of the chat real quick. Let me see. All right. In the chat today, we have Voltron. What is up, Voltron 2018? Thank you, brother. A savage commentary. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. All right. So you're good now. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a lifesaver, bro. All right. So as you can see here, it's a little joke about the whole it's a little joke about the whole thing where they're like, you got 10% here, 12% there, 13% there, 15% there, 20% there. Look, I'm just trying to say, the way he has his portfolio is all set up wrong, okay? You're supposed to, what happened to your BTC and your ETH? What happened to the people who can do the job? Okay, you would think you get the people who can do the job, and then when you have enough of those people, if you want to, diversify your portfolio, then you could do that. I don't have a problem with that. I think that would help you if you already have a very strong team. You can mentor if you want to, whatever. It's a charity kind of thing at that point, right? Cool. But, if you want to do that, you have to have your priorities right first. Have the people who can do the job first. Have those people have the strong foundation. He doesn't do that. he did not hire that way. He definitely backfired. So this page would have had the tweet with the design team that he had gotten. Okay, in 2019 is a great example. I wanted to pinpoint an example. In 2019, he had hired a diversified portfolio. Definitely some altcoins with no utility, and it was a lot of hype behind it. But it pumped and dumped, if you know what I mean. It definitely dumped. Full rug pull, okay? So the example I want to bring to you is this. The design team. Oh, well, before I go into that, let me get into this. This is another side thing. Another example of him messing up his company is fixing problems that are essentially just human nature. Okay, you guys, you cannot change human nature. You can't. People are going to say some things that are not nice. That is human nature. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying you should be happy about it. I am just saying mentally prepare yourself for that kind of thing and act accordingly. Ask yourself the question when it comes to interacting with people, right? Hey, is this person even worth interacting? I have mute, I have block, I have all these features I could just ignore. If it's that important to me and it's worth my time, then do the math in your mind and say, okay, it is important. It is worth the time. Let me go ahead and engage this person. Then engage them accordingly, right? Feel free to do that. No problem, right? Your time is valuable. Just remember that. Now, the thing that I always find funny was they're always looking at the platform. You guys need to make it safer. You guys need to make it safer. First of all, you're on a digital platform. Okay? Unless they can find your house and they're like, we got you. We're going to do this thing to you. That's one problem. That's a problem. Yes, I understand that. But when somebody's like, this is an opinion I have of you, you're XYZ, it's them, there's just words. First of all, it's just words. So you can always block, you can always mute, you can always walk away, you can always do all sorts of options in the world. Okay? Be the master of yourself. Be the master of your emotions. Be the master of your, mindset, right? That's why I say have a strong mindset. That's why this channel exists. Have a strong mindset, okay? I'm teaching you, not teaching, but I'm demonstrating how these people are like not on their own, mission in life. No matter what you do to fix the platform, people are always going to complain, by the way. So he kept fixing the platform, quote unquote, fixing it. And they just keep, to this day, look at that, 2020. This is the same problem he had since 2007. Make no mistake. This same complaint was happening since 2007. So I don't know. It's just like one of those things. You just can't fix it. Okay, you can't fix that. That's human nature, bro. It is what it is. He focused on diversifying the portfolio of the company instead of actually just hiring the most capable people for finding fit for the job. His design team in that reboot made that setup you see right there. And it turned out he was just, he diversified his portfolio with just peaches, and that's all he had. And because the design, we'll get to that in a second. The design caused more problems. People were having fights, and you'll see that in just a moment. Before I do that, though, it's not the first time he had an oopsie. This is like the third oopsie, by the way. This is the third oopsie in this whole thing I was introducing you to. Actually, I think this is number 4 because that was not too long ago. That's not too long ago. But anyways, getting back to my main point. The design that he had the team do, it lasted 2 years before people were like fed up with it and started making articles about it, complaining that the design that the ladies made was a problem because it helped cause fights. The way the algorithm was set up, the way it was looking, the way everything's designed was to create more hostility. Like the actual way they set up the tweets, it's designed to make you fight more because you'll see the most hateful stuff on the top in front of your eyes and you're just like, what is happening? It's so funny. No matter who you follow, the opposite comments sometimes always pop up first. The most irate, extreme comments. It's just so amazing how they failed so badly at it. It's just like crazy. I put this meme up I made just to kind of give you a visual of what it was like for him. He pretty much put all his money into this new team, and make no mistake, he spent a lot of money on this new team of ladies, and they just pull the rug out of him, man. It's just unfortunate. I feel so bad for him. But anyways, instead of cultivating the most effective team for the job, they handicapped their work by using a less effective format to filtering developers. Okay, I just wanted to say that because that's such an important thing to show you. Is like his past when he is like trying to run a company, he's getting cooked, he's getting all these complaints and all this stuff. He still has this vision of like, let me go ahead and instead of having the most powerful team for the job, I'm still trying to do this charity work, where I can have like, it's virtual signaling. That's what it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. You're trying to, show your company is forward thinking and all that stuff, which is fine, whatever makes you happy, but you have to have the results too. And he didn't have the results. It was just funny to watch it kind of like fall apart. Like, man, this is really predictable. Much like another company we know. I think you know about that. And got a little something here, little demonstration of what I'm talking about. And I want you to see something a little spicy. Okay, here we go. Just a little something extra. There you go. Look at the bottom there where it says gossiping, harassment, lies, unprofessionalism, incompetence, hypocrisy, pretentiousness, flattery. It's just so good. Let me tell you something, man. these companies have something in common, and I'm just saying it's just interesting to me that their mindset is always that same way. Even if the company not doing good, is not performing, it's like getting bad grades. It's like if you got bad grades, but then you told people, but I'm a feminist. It's like, dude, you got bad grades. Like that thing, okay, that's great, but that's irrelevant to your performance. You're performing horribly. You're gonna get kicked out of class. You know what I mean? You're gonna get replaced soon if you're not careful. You won't be in the number one spot anymore. You know what I mean? So this is the article. The article that's coming up is the article that inspired this entire episode. Okay, he decided to quit, and it was just funny how this guy was like, the way he was quitting at this time. You have to pay attention to the time. The time that he's quitting is kind of, getting closer to the end of the year at a very uncertain time in America and in the world. And if you think about it, it's kind of telling. You might be honest with you, it's very uncertain where the world's gonna go. Like, you really don't know where the world's gonna go, especially the social media space, whatever. You don't really know, and it doesn't bode well. I agree with that. With the writer Theo. Shout out to Theo. He wrote a pretty spicy article. He thinks Jack is getting out while the getting is good. He says when Facebook made its historic announcement in October that it was rebranding as Meta, Dorsey's tweets hinted at his disapproval of Zuckerberg's decision to stay on. A little spice there. Despite Dorsey insisting this week that he loves Twitter, I suspect he sees difficult times ahead for social media companies and even the concept of these traditional platforms. Okay. I like this part because this is a little spicy for this guy. And you have to remember, a lot of people don't like the Shadowverse. They really don't like the Shadow world. They really don't. Because it's different, it's weird, and it kind of comes from this old sense of like, how dare you, have how dare you do things your own way, and you have to understand, it's just very like revolutionary, you go in and do your own thing and start your own business and everything. People are gonna, people get mad, man, because they go into the job, they're working for the man. They are not happy to see you as a younger person working for yourself, doing things your own way, banking your own way. You're not putting money into stocks. You're putting money into whatever else you want to do. They don't like that. People don't like. Misery loves company. Remember, misery loves company. I just had to make sure I said that right because it's true. In this comment right here, I want you to really pay attention to this. It says, in my view, the days are gone when young developers wanted to work for Google, Facebook, or Twitter. They seem more interested in flipping NFTs, buying and selling these digital collectibles for a quick profit. Now, hold on now. Some of us get wrecked. That's it. Some of us just get wrecked, okay? We're not always making a quick profit. All right, calm down, buddy. Okay, calm down. I wish I was making a quick profit. All right, thank you. But I do appreciate it. Maybe I will. Thank you. I think I will. And writing applications for the non-meta metaverse. Meanwhile, regulators are increasing the heat on Silicon Valley's old guard over their ethical standards around content and use of data. You see this guy, you can kind of see where his bread is buttered at. He's like, he likes the Silicon Valley. How dare those regulators go after Silicon Valley? Get the kids. I like how he's doing that. He's like, hey, don't worry about these megacorp kingpins. What about the kids? Why don't you get those kids, Marty? Oh man, it's so wrong. It's like kicking a lemon. The lemonade stand the kids had back in the day. It's like kicking a lemonade stand, telling them, "Where are your papers? Where are your papers?" Like, come on, man. Just be cool. Don't be such a square. Don't be cool, man. Don't hate. It's ugly look. It's ugly look. And if the metaverse is the future, it raises questions about exactly how a micro blogging platform with a narrow user base fits into this new 3D era. I think he's talking about himself. I think he's talking about himself because he's like, how does my thing fit in here? Well, I mean, you gotta innovate. Everybody can innovate. You just gotta, if you want it enough, you can achieve anything. Okay, you really can. You really can. Now, this is the piece du jour. Okay, I want to know, what do y'all think? Cause is this, well? Okay, first of all, was my past a little reprehensible? I can kind of see that. I take it. It is what it is. I was young and was not the proudest moment. There was a lot of us. Again, it wasn't just me. All right, there was a lot of people out here, trolling. But I always trolled in a way where I was like, all right, this is enough. I would like to think I had the restraint to be like, all right, that's enough. Even as time went on, for me, I was actually like slowly pulling myself out, seeing the death scroll take really its toll on other people. It kind of was a wake up call for me to be like, I think I'm good, because I was always more of a I'm always a technological skeptic. Like, I use it, but I use it knowing that one day it can just rug and just go away, and I'm okay with that. Even this, I don't like really sit there and go, oh my god, it's over, bro. I'm more like, all right, well, that worked or that didn't work. What else can I do, right? That's always been my mindset with tech. But yeah, man, a lot of people got addicted, and as time went on, I kind of slowly pulled myself out, and I actually was able to, what do you call it? Go cold turkey. It was a very interesting experience. I probably would, I think the first step of deleting it, that's kind of one of the first steps everybody takes with that stuff. But again, looking back, man, I tell you, it was an interesting world where you could see everybody's thoughts all at once, and I don't think I ever want to see that again. Don't think I care. I just post my thing on Twitter and I walk away. I look at my mentions a little bit. But anyways, what do you guys think? Tell me what your thoughts are. If you like this this kind of format, this kind of thing, tell me what you think about that. If you want to see different kind of content, let me know. If you want more history lessons, I can give you more tales of the dark side before time. I could do that. Tomorrow I'll probably talk more about the and I'll just do a shorter version, like a 10-minute whatever, talking about how now that this era of this charade of free speech is over. Now that we have this other guy who's coming in and he's transparently letting we're gonna pretty much clamp down on anybody who's a no speaker. I think that's kind of the end, in my personal opinion, of Twitter, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. I think I'm gonna put like a 10-minute whatever video. Let me know what you think about that. What do you think about this and anything else you want to see? I appreciate your time, guys. Here's some content. You can follow or whatever. Follow or whatever. I'm just looking at chat now. Thank you so much, Appliance Guy. Appreciate that. If you follow me on Twitter if you want to, that's great too. Thank you. Appreciate your time. And I'll see you next time.